Hi, my name is Xalavier Nelson Jr. I'm a BAFTA-nominated studio head, writer, game developer. I've worked on over 90 games in the past 8 years, ranging from indie to AAA, tabletop to digital. I am based in El Paso, Texas. I was not born here, but it's my adoptive hometown. I was born in the Southwest in Arizona. My favorite aspect of my neighborhood is the Franklin Mountains. No matter where you are in the city, you can look just off in a direction and see mountains, and the way that grounds you in a sense of place and environment, no matter what's happening in your life, no matter where you are or who you're with, it's palpable. I do have a hobby that's non-programming related, a couple of them now, and I've found it really useful to build those up over time. I will make notes in a journal, I read. I tend to really get into manga these days, but I've also picked up building Gunpla. I used to love building Legos, but Gunpla is a fraction of the price, and then I have a cool robot at the end. So all love to Lego still, but I'm picking the cheaper, cool robot.
Be careful what you wish for.
I Am Your Beast. It's a revenge thriller FPS about basically a black Jason Bourne. Alphonse Harding, a ex-secret agent who's been asked to do one last job one too many times, and when he rejects the call, he begins a guerrilla war against the military-industrial complex across the forest, turning the hunters into the hunted and getting his freedom back one fast-paced level at a time. I was going to leave the industry entirely because the average career length is still 3 to 5 years in this medium, and by the time I was 17, a bunch of my peers, a bunch of people I looked up to, the industry as I knew it, I had already seen one cycle or 1.5 cycles of developers fade away, and I saw that it wasn't sustainable. I went through that trauma and said, I'm gonna set this world behind me in favor of a quote-unquote real job in the real world, and I was going to make one game before I left, and in the process of making that game I was like, dang it, they got me, because I loved the process of bringing that game to life. I Am Your Beast was a game that got canceled twice. The first time because we just didn't have the bandwidth to work on it. We were shipping things like Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. The second time because the studio nearly died.
Where are you hiding?
But by the time that I Am Your Beast comes out, August 15th, we will have shipped 15 games. And I think that's a very special indication of what is possible when you build different things in different ways. You get to bring different things into the world. I founded Strange Scaffold in 2019. I had worked on over 40 games at that time, and the numbers just didn't make sense. You, as a dev studio, spend 4 or 5 years of your life making one game, and if it doesn't make back all of its money within 1 month, you start from square one again. It didn't seem sustainable. It wasn't sustainable from all reports, but everyone told me that this is the way games had to be made. Looking at the historical record, looking at other industries, and looking at the tools that are available to us in this time, I very strongly disagreed, and Strange Scaffold became my way to experiment with methods of making games better, faster, cheaper, and healthier than the industry assumes is possible. And I can't guarantee the result of any one game, but what I can guarantee and refine is the execution of a project. So what I do, which doesn't sound that revolutionary, but apparently is for video games, is I have a time, I have a budget, I have a vision to bring to life, and a team that needs to be respectfully and enthusiastically empowered to do their best work. What's the best game and best vision and version of this game we can bring to life in this time? And when you ship games like that, even when you go through disastrous periods like what we saw in 2023, it sets you in a position to live and to figure out what your next steps look like in a manner that this industry intentionally and unintentionally often robs its creatives of. It's what players deserve. It's what publishers do want at the end of the day, even if they sign over scoped projects anyway. And it's what developers deserve to bring to life, because it means that you can ship more games, which means you get better at shipping games, which means you can bring cooler things to life for players. And at the end of the day, that's why we're all here.